What?
Anyway, this video is not a usual removal video or beekeeping video. This is what to do with honey left over. In this bucket, 5-gallon bucket, I have about that much honey, which is roughly 20 some odd pounds. So I thought, it's old honey. It's from cutout we did in Copeland, I think back in 2019, 2020. I'll post a video below. It's half crystallized. It's just old honey. It's not bad, it's just old. And this is what the honey looks like. It's half crystallized. I've stirred it up. You can see it sort of has the consistency of honey, but it's really, really granular and crunchy if you try to eat it. You can see where it's been as I'm using some honey, it leaves its rings. Too bad you can't smell it, because it smells really good. So I decided to make some mead with it. And here I have 5 gallons of water. I have the honey, I have a pot, and I have a few bags of frozen raspberries and yeast. That's going to be all the ingredients we're going to need for this. I'm going to go step by step just on the making process, and this video will continue probably 8 months later, or a few months later when we go to rack it, and then when we go to bottle it. But right now this is just going to be a basic how-to on a very, very simple mead with only what, 1, 2, 4 ingredients. Okay. Some of the things you're going to need for this, okay, are basic brewing equipment. A stainless steel spoon, a stainless steel pot. I'm using a glass hygrometer. This is to test the specific gravity of the wort, or must. I'm sorry, it's mead, it's not wort. I'm using a thief. This is so I can test it. I may just drop that in there, but just in case I'm using this, it has a little valve at the bottom, so it'll fill up. And then once that little thing is pressed, it empties back in there. All these things have been sanitized. 5-gallon bucket with a little stopper for an airlock. I have the airlock over there, and that's pretty much it. You can use a regular pot. Stainless steel works better. Aluminum pots and some of the other stuff will maintain flavors from whatever you cooked in them. This is my specific pot for brewing, so the only thing that goes in here is stuff that gets turned into beverages. Now we're going to talk about ingredients. The ingredients you're going to need for this are basically honey. Really, for mead, all you need is honey, water, and yeast. I'm adding a special ingredient called raspberries. So here I have 25 pounds roughly of honey. I'm going to use 25 pounds of honey for every 5 pounds of honey for every gallon of water. So I have a 5-gallon bucket and I have 25 pounds of honey. I'm also going to use 36 ounces of red frozen raspberries. I have 5 gallons of bottled spring water and 2 packages of Lalvin D47 champagne yeast, because beer yeast will probably die out a little too early on this. The champagne yeast will go into the teens alcohol percentage, so you want something that's going to make it to where this needs to be. And really, those are the only ingredients you need. I am priming the yeast. I like to put a little bit of honey in the water. And what I'm using is champagne yeast. Is that in frame?
Yeah.
What I'm using is champagne yeast. It's a Lalvin D47 yeast. Purchased on the Amazon. It's a champagne yeast that does, I think, up to about 14% alcohol or so. I'm using 2 packets at 5 grams each. So a little more than I need, but it's not going to matter. The Vikings were making this with far less precise measurements, and it still made mead.
They didn't have Amazon?
They did not have Amazon either. When they were making this, their yeast came from berries and leaves and flowers and stuff that they found and put in there. Natural yeast. So I'm just going to stir this up. I like to do this first and just let this sit for a little while until it gets a foamy head, so that I know the yeast is active and good. I don't have a package of dead yeast going on. So we'll put this somewhere safe. Nice and dark. step 2. I didn't show you step 1 because step 1 was cleaning everything and sanitizing it. Step 2, I'm gonna put some of this water into this pot. I'm gonna need my thermometer. Pardon. I'm not gonna boil it, I'm just gonna get it warm enough to help dissolve some of that honey. And I'm only gonna use maybe 2.5 gallons because it's gonna take forever to warm this up otherwise. Okay, first thing you want is 5 gallons of water. I use not this specific brand, so I'm not gonna show you the brand if I can't. It's just store-bought spring water. You don't wanna use distilled water. Spring water is best. You can use tap water, but depending on where you are, it may have stuff in it that will come out not so good in your mead. So store-bought spring water is probably the best you can use. I put a little over 2 gallons in here. All I'm gonna do is warm it up. I'm not gonna boil it. I got my thermometer set up right there. I'm gonna let it get to about, I don't know, 160 or so, just enough to make this thick crystallized honey that I'm gonna use easier to pour. And once it's done, we have our sanitized 5-gallon bucket, and we're gonna put it in here. So it's gonna take a bit for this to warm up, but we'll cut to that. Okay, I'm gonna mix everything now. I have a 6-gallon bucket. I was corrected. I forgot that this is a 6-gallon bucket. So I could put in 5 gallons without it overfilling, and the honey. Here I have the warmed up water. And here I have the honey. So this will just pour. And all that's lumpiness.
Cassie, get away.
Get out of here, dog.
Now we stir.
Now we stir. This is the exciting part of the video. That's why I'm gonna go faster. Okay, that's heavy. Now I'm gonna get a quick reading with my hydrometer. I want to be somewhere between 1.03 and 1.06. Before I start adding a bunch of water, I wanna see where I'm sitting. And it's not even, there's so much sugar, it's not even registering right now. So we add one. I'm topping this off to right. This is my super scientific mark for 5 gallons. Super precise. And we are now adding 1.03. So our starting gravity is 1.03. Once it's done with all its fermentation, we'll take another reading, and the difference after doing some maths will give us the alcohol concentration. Okay, so that's in there. The yeast is bubbly, so you know it's good. I'm going to pour this last. I'm going to put in the raspberries now.
You let those thaw outside for a little bit, right?
I did let them thaw out. It's Texas summer, so it's only 96 million degrees out. So I put these frozen strawberries out there for 2.5 seconds.
Or frozen raspberries.
What did I say?
Strawberries.
Whatever. They're berries. They're red. They're all berries.
Is there sugar added to those?
I don't know. Why do you ask me hard questions? Ingredients. Raspberries. No. All right. There. Need a spoon for these guys. My millions of little friends here. Stir it. I want to stir it because the top layer has all the frozen raspberries in it. And I want the temperature in here to be all about the same for the yeasties to not be shocked when I put them in here. It's still pretty warm. I heated it up. I think it turned out to be 130. So you don't want it to get too hot or the yeasties don't like it. You don't want to kill them. They're doing all the work. Get off the spatula. One more mix. Make sure everything gets mixed in, especially a clump of yeast that's floating. It's riding a raspberry. And this is what it looks like. Hold on, better view, there we go. This is what you're looking at. Okay, so that we mixed everything up, everything's ready to go. Taking the spoon out because I have to narrate that because you couldn't tell. Dog, get out of here. I have an airlock with water in it. So I just put my lid on. Hold this. Now the way the airlock works is as this starts fermenting, it's going to blow off gases from the yeast. The gases will go through here, they hit this water, and they'll push bubbles out through here, and it's a one-way valve basically. So gases can escape, but things don't go in it. And this is how it's going to sit until it's done fermenting. It could take a couple months if it all goes well. Like I said, attenuation from the yeast at maximum, I think this is 14%. Doesn't say on there. But I've never been lucky enough to get that high. I'm assuming it'll be somewhere in 10, 12%. But we're gonna set this in a nice place away from activity and light. Put it in the closet in the workout room because that's where all my brew stuff goes. And the follow-up video will be in a little while. As you can see, the air is already pushing through here. When I first put the airlock on, they were even right here. And now this one is way down here and the air is up to there. So there'll be a bubble here pretty soon. But that's it, that's all you need. 4 ingredients, water, a few minutes of time, a little bit of equipment, and you're gonna get yourself some meat. So good luck. If you wanna use this recipe, I hope it works out for you. If you found this video entertaining or helpful in any way, please give me a like. It helps grow my little channel. Leave me a comment if you have anything to say, any kind of feedback, positive or negative. I'd like to make videos people like to watch, so if I do something you don't like, let me know. If I do something I like, let me know too. Thank you.